Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. It's an online free private group for women. There's a huge disconnect between what we go after and what we really want. Let's move forward. Join Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. Do you sometimes feel unfulfilled and confused about your purpose? You don't have to go it alone. Come on over to the No Judgment Zone where you're going to connect with other like minded women from all over the world and receive support from others who have been through similar situations. Everyone has a story. What's your story? Seeking guest speakers. Do you have a story, talent, or ability that you would love to share? We invite you to be our guest. Hello and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Stephanie Wall. They call me Speaker Stephanie. I am the CEO and founder of Speaker Stephanie LLC and the founder of Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power, and the founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed, where we transform lives, relationships, and finances. The goal is for every woman, every person to transform their lives. I particularly super serve those women who've experienced trauma in their lives. Welcome to Her Story, Our Story. Remember, you belong here. You belong there. You belong everywhere. Be sure to shine your light. My name is Stephanie Wall, and I'm certainly getting it all. Come on in.
Hello everyone and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Hope Jackson, founder of Always Hope, and my purpose and goal is to help women to unlock what is hidden inside them. I know from experience that sometimes in life when you're going through dark times, you don't realize the purpose that you have inside of you. So my goal is to help you to find it and just to remind you that no matter what you go through in life, there is always hope.
Well, welcome to Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. I got to bring on up, where's my co-host, Hope, the fabulous Hope Jackson. Hope, we got a special treat for them the next 3 weeks, right? They're not ready. They're not ready. So Hope, I'm going to make sure we open up in decency and order. So I'm going to fall back. And the next time we come back, not only is Hope and me going to be on the screen, but you'll see the other two people that are ready to rock and roll. Hope is all yours.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. First and most importantly, let us give honor and glory to God. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the day, Lord Father God. We thank you for the ability to come online, Lord Father God, to do something different, something that we have never done before. Lord Father God, we just ask that you touch and bless someone tonight, Lord Father God. May they get something out of tonight that will help them to transform their lives, because transform lives transform other lives. So, Lord Father God, we thank you for the host, Miss Stephanie Wall, for her obedience. We thank you for our guests, those that are joining us, and all those that will be listening. So, Father God, we just thank you and all of these special things. We say amen.
Amen. Well, I see Julie. Let's come on. All right, let's call into the stage Julie, Hope sister. Julie, all right, hey Julie. Well, you know what? We're gonna let you introduce yourself. So Julie, tell them who you are, where you be, and all that stuff. Julie, you on your way home from work?
Train.
You just got off the train. Well, that's what we're so glad that you made it. You're gonna be on your way home. Helping the people get what they need for a special session. So Julie, we're gonna need you to hop off the train and do this again for the next 2 weeks. Can we count on you?
All right, wait, give me a minute. I don't know why I can't hear y'all that loud. Hold
No
up.
worries, Julie. You looking good there. I know one thing. You and Hope not gonna both come with
I
these sassy
did.
hairdos. I tell y'all what.
Hold up. Give me a minute, guys.
You got. See your birthday, you're being cute without your glasses.
I'm
See, this
having
is the birthday you
technical
sweat.
difficulties.
No worries. No worries. Let me see. Let me see if Sasha ready. Let me see. Sasha Butler, you back? Oh, Julie. All right, Sasha.
Hey there.
Listen, look, we toss Sasha. Once Julie come back on here, we're going to do some additional introductions. But it's so just in case there's someone not familiar with all of us, we're going to do some introductions around the room before we jump into our training. So, Hope, even though they should know we the host and the co-host, I do want you to tell them your name, who you are, what you do, and who do you serve, right, and where you are in the world.
Are you starting with me?
Can
Yep.
y'all hear me?
Yep. We get ready to do some introductions, so stand by. So wait a minute. Hope, actually, no, Hope, you go ahead. I'm looking at you. Hope, you start.
Well, good evening, everyone. Again, I am Hope Jackson. I am the owner and founder of Always Hope LLC, and I am here in Maryland. I actually live down the street from Miss Stephanie Wall. But my goal is to help women, to encourage and motivate them through hope, to keep pushing through, that no matter what they go through, there is always hope. And that is my purpose and goal, is to keep people to push through, because there's always hope.
Julie, we can actually see you. Don't you worry. We can see you. So, Julie, we're just introducing ourselves, and just tell us, who you are, what you do, who do you serve, and where are you in the world? Uh-oh. We should be back. Sasha, you heard the question. It's up on ding, 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 ding. You're up.
Well, welcome. I'm excited to be here. My name is Sasha Butler, and I wear plenty of hats, so I'm going to give it to you in a little snapshot. I am the founder and CEO of In Excellence Consulting. We provide training, consulting, as well as program development. We do it locally and internationally. We help leaders become better equipped. I'm also the chief global advisor for the Center for Global Alliance and Leadership Expansion, where we are the certainty experts. Where in uncertain times we make sure that you're certain about your purpose and what you've been called to do. I wear some other hats, but we'll talk about that later. I'm just excited to be here because I could be here all day talking about what I do, but those are the two key areas.
Welcome to the fold, Katrina. Welcome to the fold, Katrina. Welcome. Right now, we're just doing introductions. So just tell them who you are, who do you serve, and where are you in the world? Where are you living? What state? And where?
You said what? I could barely hear you.
Say your name, what you do, right? Who do you serve, and where are you in the world?
All right. My name is Katrina, folks. What I do, I am a registered nurse, and I do quite a bit. I do a lot of things, but my main thing that I do is I'm an owner of a nonprofit organization called Perfect Generation Ministries, and I serve the community. I serve God, and I serve my family and friends. And then I am in out of the DMV area. DMV area.
All right, Greg, you hadn't said about Perfect Generation Ministry. I was going to say, now, wait a minute. Let me have to come roll it all the way back for her, because y'all know I will do it. So, well, good evening. I am Stephanie Wall. I am the founder and the CEO of Speaker Stephanie LLC, the founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed, and the founder of Her Story, Our Story, 1 Hour of Power. So let's get it on. Let's get on. So, Katrina, look, get somewhere where you can hear, girl, because we don't want you to miss any of this. Are we ready? So I'm going to share my screen for a little bit, and I hope Julie can come back. I know Julie is somewhere all kinds of hot right now. Yeah, that's it. So we'll see. So this is what's going to happen. Can you all see this? Can you see Can you see my screen? Can you see the okay. All right. So what we're going to do, first of all, I want everybody to know what it is that what it is that we're gonna be doing. So one, I'm gonna make sure I want to make sure before I teach them before we ask them to do something, I want to make sure that we, all of us on this stage, understand what it is we're gonna be doing. So before we get into them seeing how we solve our problems, I want to first show you Let me back this up so I can see it fully myself. All right, let's do this. All right. Can you all see this? Can you see? Can you read the words? So this is a destiny circle. So our favorite guy, Les Brown, says as you reach your goals, you should set new ones, and this is how you grow and become a more powerful person. Because what happens is oftentimes we don't reach our goals, and the reason we don't reach our goals is because we didn't have all the tools or the proper tools or the proper strategy. And sometimes, we get like, I want to do, and an example would be, listen, I want to lose X amount of pounds. I want to lose weight. Well, we want to lose the weight, but we haven't decided what we're going to need. Do we need to look at that refrigerator, get some stuff up out of there, right? Where are we going? Look, I don't have no money for a gym membership. What am I going to do? Well, you didn't talk about, well, maybe I can get up from my desk, or, you didn't set a plan. And then, so first of all, you have the tools, and then you certainly didn't have the strategies. And sometimes we have the tools, but no strategy. So you got to have both. All right, so we have that. So what we're going to be doing here today is making sure we have a return on finish, as Trevor Ott says. He says, how people say the ROL, you actually, you want to run on your return on your money. Well, we want you to return on finish. The problem with most of us is that we keep failing at things. And we want you to fail, hurry up and fail often and fail forward. But you have to first have return on finish. You got to complete what you're doing. And most of us are very stressed out and very frustrated. And the reason we're frustrated, everything in our life, all the deficits we have, is a direct result of something we didn't finish. I promise you. And we'll get deep on that. All right, so a destiny circle, that's what we are. Right now, we are the destiny circle. Hope I have my screen full screen. So if Julie's trying to get in, I can't see her. You have to do it, okay? And then this is what we are. So this is what a destiny circle is. It's a group that gets together for basically 1 week, and within that circle, and this was created by the Black CEO. People may call it something different. We call it a destiny circle. This is their intellectual property. So the destiny circle is us. We coming together as a group, and we're going to each sprint. Y'all follow me now? So together, collectively, we're going to come together. We're going to help each other get whatever the thing is we're going to say we want to do in this week, get done. Together, it's almost like a mastermind. It's almost like a mastermind, right? Together, we're going to help each other, except for, mastermind, you come into your ideas and people have to give you things. But in the sprint, we drill down even further. So let's go over here. Champion sprints. 1/4 of a grind equals the 3/4 of grind, right? So if each one of us do our part, and we just do a little bit at a time. Look, it's the elephant theory. You know how sometimes you're like, oh, it's overwhelming. Have you ever been sitting down somewhere and you got tasks to do, and you're like, oh, I can't do it. You got things I can't do it. I'm never gonna get it done. And it's because you never wrote down exactly what you need to do. If I'm by myself, just let me know, Dan. But I know for sure that the moment I write down, let me write down my 6 most important things or my 10 list, my 10 things I have to get done by 10. Soon as I write it down, I am obsessed with crossing them things off, right? And once I do that, all of a sudden, I'm super girl. I can do anything. I can leap tall mountains and buildings. It's because I did 1/4 of the grind, which equals 3/4 of the grind, right? So let's talk about a sprint now. Now I know you all probably can't see this, but this is what I want. Can you all see it? Can anybody read that first part? Because I want to make sure y'all can see it.
Well, the first part says, "What is a destiny sprinter?" CEO.
Got it. And it says, look, I'm gonna read it just because I want to make sure you all, in case you can't see it, I'm gonna read all of this here. Okay. I know y'all grown, but I want you to hear it. A destiny sprint helps you to create the momentum that you need to create the destiny you desire. It's all about momentum. Too many times we find ourselves running in place, procrastinating, or having completely given up when it comes to achieving the goals that power our vision. To get started, decide what you're running towards. What's your goal? And you look, like an example, I'm gonna write a book. Because you ever somebody say, I want to be successful. Okay, well, how do you want to be successful? What is it specifically? Determine what you're chasing, because we know what the goal is, but what are you chasing? And what you're chasing is your vision. So what is the vision? We chase excellence. I'm chasing legacy. Y'all see the difference? Look, we chase excellence, but you and we're chasing legacy. Set a time frame. If you all have heard it before, if you don't put a time on it, it ain't getting done. If you don't say, I'm getting it done by tomorrow, I'm gonna get it done by, if you don't say it and say, okay, and tell somebody, everybody in here has either worked for somebody or you somebody's boss. And have you ever said, when somebody's telling you blah, 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 you give them the task and then they'll say, yeah, I'm gonna get that to you. And you say, okay, so when can I expect it? You just told them, you created a sense of urgency because you put a timestamp on it. Would y'all agree that? Okay. So the Destiny Sprint is all about consistency of completion. Consistency of completion is necessary to produce a return on finish. The whole goal of a Destiny Sprint is to start moving expeditiously toward the thing that you need to finish in life and to who you want to become in life. The primary mission is to consistently finish that which creates the life you desire. Now, so this is what I want. And that's going to show you all that, but this is what I want you all to do this. I want you to understand this. All right. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then we are going to get started. I promise. I want you to tell me one of your something that you wish you finished, like that, something that held you back at some point. And I'll give an example, or something even now that you didn't finish. I will tell you that for years, I couldn't seem to get a foothold and I felt inadequate. I kept feeling like I didn't belong in certain circles. I kept feeling a certain way about a whole lot about my personal development, about me. And all of it was tied to me not completing college. It was because I felt like I left it there, and everybody else was done. Everybody else has their thing, and because of that, I felt like I didn't deserve to be in certain rooms. So once I got that, and here's the thing, you think that's what you need to complete yourself. Well, guess what, my sisters? I got my bachelor's. I got my master's. It just goes on. And guess what? I found out. Yes, I felt better about some things. And yes, I felt better in some rooms, but I didn't make me feel completely whole. No, because things cannot make you happy. It's internal. So what I want to know from you all is tell me about something that whether it's current or previous that you didn't finish, and it was affecting who you were becoming. Feel free to unmute any of you.
Hey everybody. I'm sorry, I'm being attacked by my puppy and my grand love. I feel as though I'm 5 classes away from my nurse practitioner degree. And a part of me feel like me stepping away from that, I feel like I'm abandoning a part of myself when it comes to serving my community. In my mind and in my goals, I had whereas though I wanted to complete my nurse practitioner class, my degree, within the next year. And as you can see, so many things have happened that I'm not capable of getting it, and I had to take a complete medical withdrawal. And so it made me feel like I'm missing out on the things that I want to do in addition to what I'm already doing. So that's my spiel.
Thank you, girl. We'll come all the way back to that. The good stuff. And who else? What
So
you got?
I can jump in, but I do have to share two, one past, one present. because I think they tie into how you sometimes view things. But the first one was not finishing my track and field career. I had an opportunity. I got invited to train with an Olympic coach, and I let someone else make that decision for me, which was my coach. And so that meant I had to leave home and go to the Caribbean. And since I didn't do that, I think that impacted me in terms of staying focused on the things that are so important to me. The second thing is current. I was supposed to have finished my PhD this uh, last year, and so but because I became ill, hurt my back, and some other circumstances, pandemic and a number of things like that, family, I didn't finish. So that's a frustration because I was on a trajectory to be done.
Ooh, y'all got y'all drop. See, they coming. Y'all bringing the heat. Come on, Hope, give it to me.
So past was finishing a book. I had a book that I had written and never finished it, but I did finish it and it was published. And the other thing is like you, Stephanie, it was the college degree, not finishing it. I always felt like, and I still feel like I missed out on something. I feel like I can't be in certain rooms because of it. So yeah, so that's what it is.
So I want to ask all of you this question. For each one of you said a current thing. Well, no, Hope and Sasha, and then Katrina, and actually Katrina, all three of you. Right now, today, what is not the big mountain, not the mountaintop, but what is one thing, just one thing you could do right now? I mean, like right now, that would even remotely point you in the direction of where you want to go.
Well, it's funny you asked that question is because I made a decision that there were some circumstances that delayed me that came from the faculty, and I made a decision this week that I was going to write a letter to the new dean to have a conversation about comping me so that I can get back on track.
Um, for me, now that I don't think I'm going to go for my nurse practitioner because the nonprofit is actually doing very well. So my focus right now, for me to complete and to make me feel like I'm going forward, is to start raising revenue for my nonprofit.
So then my question is, what one thing can you do to start making money for your nonprofit?
Start writing my grants, applying for grants.
All right, hold on to that.
Stephanie, you on mute. Were you saying something?
No, I was calling on you. I'm sorry.
Oh, so my college degree, well, I guess some people don't know, but I went back to school. So I am currently in school right now, working on, I figured I would at least accomplish my associate's degree first and then decide what I want to do after that. So I am currently in school.
And let me say this for everybody. Those in particularly everybody that's watching, I know it's somebody sitting there right now saying, God dang it, they're calling me out right now. Because everybody on here, they told you they got jobs, they running businesses, they doing life, and don't think life is not still coming at them. But they just said they still are not giving up on the dream. And don't think it's so easy to just say, you know what? That's the cop out. I don't have time for that. That was then. I'm just gonna, if I never speak of it again, that's the easy thing. Put it over there, never speak of it again. But you may never speak of it again. You may never say another word, but you're going to out loud, but you're going to keep talking to yourself about it. And that is where the damage begins. It's not what everybody else says about or to us, it's what we say about and to ourselves. So I want this. So right now, there's an activity I want you all to do. And each one of you,
Sorry, Stephanie. Julie's online. I didn't know if you wanted to bring her up.
Yeah, yep. Go ahead and bring up because I can't. Yep. And we're gonna Julie. I know you was home spitting nails. I know. So Julie, we want you to we're gonna bring you up. Were you listening to us by any chance?
Yeah, I was listening. I was gonna say, yeah, definitely I agree with what was being said. One of my accomplishments, well, one of my regrets was not finishing college right after I got out of high school. Cause I saw all my friends were being successful in positions.
You done went, girl. You done went. You got us all turned our head up in here. We all trying to. What we like? What happened? The Hope is literally leaning like. We trying to will the camera back around. It's all good, Julie. You keep on working on it, girl. But wait a minute, Julie, can you hear us though? Julie? Nope, we can't hear you. All right, well, you work that out and come on back up on here. In the meantime, right? Work it on out. So Hope, I'll push it back to the back while she works on that. All right. So this is what I want you guys to do. And Julie, we ain't giving up on you, girls, so don't you give up. I want you to do this. I'm gonna take several pieces of paper. And I'm on this piece of paper. Now, because right now, the thing, but it could be that thing or something else, but I want you to write down, what is the lie? What is the lie that you have told yourself about your ability to complete that goal? What is the lie? The lies, it might be several, but I want you to write that down and write each. It might be more than one. Write it until you exhaust it, but leave about 3 or 4 inches, lines in between it, and write the lie. If you got a pencil, I would prefer you guys write it in pencil. Write the lie in pencil. Write the lie in pencil if you can. Write it in pencil. Let me see here. I still see.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Yeah. So when you get a piece of paper, I want you to write down the lies that you told yourself about your ability to complete something, whether it be your lies you told yourself about whether or not you can finish college, the lies you told yourself, Sasha, about whether or not you can finish your PhD with your hectic schedule, Trina, the lies you told yourself about you being able to write grants, receive money in a plethora. You follow what I'm saying? And goes on and on. And so what's going while that is going? We are going to take, you want y'all to do that, and we'll take a commercial break. But you all do that. All right? We'll be back in a minute, because this is real, y'all. I'm telling you. You got to know. If you don't know the lie, then you won't know the truth. So we'll take a little break.
Hello, I'm Charmaine, and I want to talk with you about speaker Stephanie. I have been working with her through my journey, and you all may know her, and of course, I know her as a transformation architect. I know her most for being the Tower of Power. And since Stephanie has actually stepped into her power, I've seen the way that she's been bold and confident and humorous, just such a presence. And she invites those who she works with to be a presence as well. She has been such a gift to me and has really helped me develop my speaking skills as well. So if you are looking for someone who will help you with your confidence, who will help you grow in even your humor, but also teach you how to have a presence, I invite you to really consider Speaker Stephanie. You won't be disappointed. I am so happy and proud to be a part of what she's been doing.
I feel like we done lost. Oh no, what happened? We done lost Katrina. All right, so this let me take this off of here. Did you all complete your task? When you let me ask you something, because I've done this, because you can't, and as John, as such, as you both know, when you're doing your training, you cannot do something, ask someone to do it, and you haven't done it yourself, because you will not understand how they feel emotionally. As you were writing down the lies that you've told yourself about why or if you could complete it, how did it make you feel?
Hard to tell. I've been trying to separate how I feel about it because it's frustration. When I try to focus on it, it's a little frustration because when you know you can do something and it's not done, that's frustrating.
Yes, and and so I'm gonna tell you, which I forgot to tell you all was this: to not cheat yourself either, because sometimes if it popped in your head at all, whatever it was, if it popped in your head, you had to write it down, because sometimes it'll pop in your head and we'll dismiss it. Oh no, I ain't really mean that. You know that, and we won't write
Mm-hmm.
that down. But that
Mm-hmm.
if it popped in your head, that is what you are telling yourself. So what
Mm-hmm.
about you, Hope?
Um, it's funny because I kind of laughed at him as I wrote him down because, like, one of the things I wrote down is I was too old to go back to school, which is insane because you're never too old to do anything. It's really a mindset and what you're willing to put forth and do. So, and I also put down I'm not smart enough. So again, I had to laugh at it because I was successful for over 20 years and went from a benefits assistant to a manager of an HR department. So obviously I'm smart enough because if I elevated myself, well, God elevated me into those positions. I'm smart enough to finish a college degree. It's just a matter of me putting forth the effort to do it. So I had to laugh at my lies because they were just that, they were lies. Lies I told myself.
But here's the deal. This is the thing. This is why this activity is so significant, because sometimes we just need to, it's like why therapy is good, because sometimes we need to hear the words that are in our mouth, right? So we need to hear the words that we're saying. We need to say, wait a minute. If somebody else told us that about, right, said, if somebody said to you, because Hope, you ain't smart enough, then first of all, you would be like, wait a minute, right? Now, depending on who is saying it, whether or not you get to snatch your neck a little extra, but you would be offended, and you may have even feel even harder on yourself. However, when you allow yourself, because that record right there plays over and over and over and over, and it also plays subconsciously when we're not even thinking about it. So what you had for us, Katrina? How'd you feel when you were writing down the lies that you told yourself?
Woo, I felt like I was living it. Live like just it's like reality sometimes because I do just writing just a couple of them down is exactly is when you hear the words the power of the tongue,
Mhm.
you speaking those the things against you is also your thoughts, even though you don't physically say it, you think it, and it alters how you go about doing certain things. And one of the ones that I wrote down was that I am not a good granter, like because I never wrote a grant before. That I wouldn't, I'm not a good, because I've heard people say, oh, you need a grant writer, you need a grant writer, and because this is a new charted territory in my life, I've been telling myself, how you're not going to be able to get a grant because you don't know nothing about a grant. There are a million other 501c nonprofit organizations. Excuse me.
I love that. No, let's see the baby. Go ahead. Okay.
Alea, say hi. Say
She
hi.
had on screen. She said, I'm coming to see the people. Look.
And so here. Okay. And so you're welcome. And so I've told myself repeatedly because I'm a young nonprofit, and then I'm going against, thousands and millions of other nonprofits that I would not be looked at properly if I don't put the proper words in. And so I shy away from getting grants. I'm looking at certain things and I'm like, no, oh no, because I'm telling myself that I'm not, we're not, I don't know how to say it, but I don't
You're
want to
telling
say it.
yourself, you're telling yourself that you are not good enough. The
Right.
company now you're telling yourself the company's not good enough.
Right. But I know different because we've served 208 people as of today since last May.
Way to
Of
go. So
not
let me tell you this. But everybody, I want everybody to write this down. Write down 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
15
And
minutes.
15 minutes. And now you gonna probably think it's not even a silly thing, but you be like, what in the world? So I you know that I heard you got it? Okay. I have heard from I said, well, look, they say when you want to learn something, we may go to all these conferences, we may watch them online or whatever. And one of the things that everybody said was consistently was they learned the new. They learned something new. And then my mentor was like, and he was like, Stephanie, I just need you to do one thing for me. You're very smart. You pick up things really quickly. Are you guys very smart? Do you find that you pick up things really quickly? Yes, you do. Hope. Oh, see that the devil is a liar. You pick up things. That is write that down. Write that lie down right there. That you just shook your head. That you do not pick up things. Did y'all see that? Write that on your list as the lie that you tell yourself that you don't pick up things quickly. But let me tell you this. Whatever that thing is, so just now you just said, now besides the fact that yes, you can hire somebody to write a grant for you. Yes, there are grant writers. But what was one of the things that I learned as my training with the Black CEOs was this. That we pay out if you ever paid a bunch of money, how many of you besides me has paid somebody to create a website or pay people to create something a tool that you needed for your business? Yes. We are paying people for their expertise. We're paying them for their knowledge. We're paying them so that we can be lazy. In essence, I mean, really, because guess what? This is what I want you to do, and as the saying says, I dare you to try this. Google University or wherever you want to go. Spend 15 minutes every day researching and learning how to write a grant. Not all grants, any grants, specifically the kind of grant you need. Whether it's, I don't know if it's long, short, but what and I do believe that Sasha, I believe that is that your gift, grant writing. I do believe.
I knew you were gonna say something, right?
I was trying to stay over here, Sasha, and I knew I knew you was getting ready to be like, I'm gonna have to help. But see, Sasha, you can, and Sasha, she can give you somewhere to start.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to spend 15 minutes because I don't want you just to know how to do it. I want you to know how to do it so well through this that you can teach other people how to do it. So Sasha can teach you. You can teach, and she can get you to write and boom. And once you write one grant, because you have a nonprofit, you got to keep writing these things, right?
Strategies.
This is just the beginning. Yeah. We did the 501c3 application last July, me and my director of finance. And that was the first time that I ever wrote a 501c3. And all I heard was, you need to get a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer. And God said, no, you don't. You don't need to spend that $5,000 on some lawyer when you can do it yourself. And God had me to connect with a lawyer friend of my own. And I just picked his brain. I said, since you've been in the business for a long time, can you kind of guide me onto doing X, Y, and Z? And he took the time out and actually gave me pointers of what I need to put in my 501c3. And I kid you not, I sat down, me and my director of finance, we went strategically. We just went and just did everything. We took like almost 3 hours.
And now you have a nonprofit.
Approved as of February 2022. I said no retraction, no nothing. We didn't have to add anything. We didn't have to send anything. It went through off the first application. I said, look at God.
Say, yeah, look at God working through people. So okay, so I want you to hold on to that. And then you did look, you did that, and that's most people. That's they don't even attempt it because it seems so mountainous, right? Like, oh, that's just no, that's too much labor, right? Laborious, right? It's too much. So, but you did that. So I want you to. So now your sprint for the next 3 days is that you are going to write a grant. You are going to write a grant. Do you understand me, right? So, you're for the next between now and next week, you have your task is to get a sample of what one would look like. And I know you can find right. Sasha got you got Sasha right there. And then you are going to somebody. Sasha, continue this. What I was trying to say. Somebody can.
Oh, she's clearing her throat. So when you start writing a grant, but just a strategy I'm going to share with you: never write a grant by yourself. Bring your team around you because your director of finance, you shouldn't even focus on the budget. The director of finance should focus on the budget. Then you should have someone focusing on just programs. And so when you write a grant, I usually bring people. I go into organizations and I put everybody in that organization at the table, from the greatest to the least. Everybody can be a part of that grant and save you stress. Because when you do it by yourself, it is overwhelming because it's all on you, and that's not your primary means of focus, right? Your focus is you have a career, but this is part of what your calling and purpose is. And so you just like you built a team around you to create the nonprofit, there are people within that nonprofit and outside who can do a piece of it and have it come together like that. And all you need to do is go through and make sure they told the truth.
We started, we actually, each department started bringing on like their own, what they want to see in their division.
Hmm.
And we started off with doing that, and then we're going to come back to next week and kind of put it all together. And then we have like the meat of what we do as an organization. And
Hmm.
then because I have written grants last year, but it didn't go far. And I, from being rejected so many times,
Hmm.
you're like, dang, like, so, so we
But
did
can I
start
tell you,
that. Huh?
this is why I tell people you should be writing at least every month, at least 3 to 5 grants every month, because no matter how long you've been in business, I've been in business, and you get more. It's like sales. You get more rejections than you get acceptance. And but it's that one. You just need one. And once you start getting one, someone else, and then you put on that L, like who else gave you money? You put that one down there, and so you keep putting them out. It's just is a numbers game, to be honest with you, and also knowing what that grantor is looking for and who did they fund in the past,
So
and
that
contacting those organizations and saying, hey, I love your organization. Can I come visit? Can I pick your brain? And ask them once they get it, can I either partner with you or would you be willing to share some strategies?
go look at that. See y'all, this is what I'm talking about right there. Right there.
I
Okay.
try to be quiet.
Look, she would listen. Even if I hadn't said that, she would have been like, "There's just no way I can't tell her how to fix this."
It
Jesus.
isn't. It isn't. It hurt my heart.
Okay, so you have yours. So now this sprint is. We're going around this room. We're gonna find out because everybody is going to have something. So you're sprinting and your sprint. So when you sprint, it's one thing, one track. That's the thing about a sprint, and the thing about getting anything done, one thing at a time. The reason we don't get things done is because we're trying to do this, 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 one
Hmm.
thing at a time. So that's your sole focus is get the grant done. All right, Trina, stand by. Hope, what you got? What is the one thing that would like if you could just get done that it might be that you maybe you don't know if it's a challenge or maybe it's just you find it that you keep putting it off because it just seems like it's gonna be overwhelming. What is that one thing?
I mean, the one thing is just making sure I pass these 2 classes that I'm currently taking. So, focusing on that every day, studying for a little bit, reading a little bit. So,
What are the 2 classes?
Stress management and sociology.
So let me tell. So what is the one? So you said trying.
Well,
What,
I'm going to pass these classes this semester.
and what is something? What is one thing you can do to make the process easier? What is one strategy that you can do to make the process easier?
So the process that I have been doing is I break up my study periods. So like I study every day for like an hour or 2 hours. So I'm breaking up the studying and then, writing, taking notes and going over them, whatever, on another day. And then I just take one day off that I don't look at it. I don't worry about it. I just give myself a mental break from all of it.
How do you have? Is your classes in person?
Online.
So you got to do discussions,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to you have quizzes,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do a paper.
Mm-hmm. I got a paper due and a midterm due this week.
Mm-hmm. It was due this week, but it was on the rubric. And could you have turned it in early?
Not the midterm.
Nothing. Yeah, the midterm you could, but the paper. And
The
how? And what's the paper? Was the paper based on the readings up until like a certain period, or no?
So the paper is actually it's almost like we're talking about the sprint. So it's our final paper. So we're just writing pieces of it now. So we don't have to write, when the end of the semester comes, that final paper, we're not doing it all at once.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So so let me. I'm gonna give you one tip that I know you probably have already figured out because most the students do. Because I have a class right now that I'm teaching that is uh, most of my students are seniors. Then in senior year, junior seniors. So I find that most people their struggle is that discussion. This discussion is gonna drive them because one is you have to respond to the original discussion question, rather the original question, and then you have to reply back to at least two people. Okay, so let me just tell you, which I tell everybody, it's not even a secret. To get everybody starts out with an A technically, and to keep the A, one now every professor is different. I leave my discussions open. They're open anyway. So when you come on, they're on. So if when you finish your discussion for that week, if you got some extra time, move on to the next one. What is the dog on? And here's the deal. What is it? Go right to the question. What is the question? Got it. Go back to that reading. And first, you scan some things, but get down to what that question is, because usually the question and whatever the discussion is about is what is going to be also on that final. You follow what I'm saying? You got to find, you are a working adult and you got to work that thing out. So go and find out what the question is. Then go back and look at the reading. What's related? Which one of these topics or which one of these little articles or whatever it is that's related to these questions? Read that. Get your answer. Articulate that thing. And matter of fact, while you're at it, go ahead and Google and YouTube and find some other little good stuff. And I'm gonna tell you this, look, y'all, don't tell nobody, because we gotta read a lot of papers, a lot of discussions. So when somebody gets juicy and they say they give it back, because when I reply to a person, when I'm trying to get them to think, I tell them what they did well. I ask them a question, and then and as an example of what I'm trying to get them to get to, I put in a video on YouTube about 3 minutes and be like, hey, do me a favor, look at this real quick and give me some feedback. And it's always like, wow, some good stuff. Guess what some of the students do? They give, hey, professor, thank you for replying. What do you think about this video? So now they got me sucked in, right? So now, so what I'm telling you is when the student that can get the professor to be engaged, lets them know that they're also engaged. So I'm telling you that while you're doing your research, and you can say, because a good professor is going to ask you a question. And so when they ask you a question, or when you're talking to the other students, hey, Stephanie, you made some good points. I don't know if you ever saw this. Hey, you ever see this? And you been helping me because you're telling me, hey, you ever see this? You know, I looked up, I saw this today. Last Sunday when I was in church, John Maxwell said, blah, 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 which made me think about how the mind works. You follow what I'm saying? Y'all rolling, y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So don't look, be different. I want you to neon light the people. Neon light them. So when you do your papers, whatever the minimum is, you do just a little bit more or a lot more. And how about this? If you make it a goal to try to make it a goal to say or reply to everybody who replies in the first week that you reply, the first day or whatever that you reply back in the discussion. Because baby, anybody, when I look at my thing, if I saw that person and I can see them and they have replied, because I reply to every student at least once. If they have replied to every one of them students, or they replied to 4 or 5 of them, and they have their cite your sources, always cite your sources, and they citing their sources, and they gave me something more than, oh yeah, I agree with you, right? Bam. Next. And what will happen is you set the standard of, so now certain students, I don't have to look at that thing real hard. I already know they super bad. They already giving me their best from what I can see. So I ain't even got to read a whole lot. You ain't got to go, no, I know Sasha is going to bring the heat anyway. She been bringing the heat. I've been seeing her respond to the other students. She got an A. I'm going on. I'm not even going to read it. I already read it. I've been reading her stuff because I've been seeing it because I read her. She responded to me and I saw her respond to the other students. So I've already seen Sasha's magnificence. So she got an A. You follow what I'm saying? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down, as The Rock says? So
true story.
You know, right?
It is true, because I kid you not, I don't just do the 2. And what I do is, what I was doing before I got really, really sick last year, is that I actually went ahead with my syllabus. And I actually I prepared everything in advance, because I was so sick with my Crohn's that I didn't know what day was going to be a good day, what day wasn't going to be a good day. And so I actually went ahead of the schedule and I had everything notated. I just took a couple of days and kind of just sat back and just whoop, 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 whoop. And then I did do at least 3 to 4 replies to each, person. And I got it out of the way because I needed to have my extra time focusing on something else. And then I had those notes for when, at the end, when we had to do whatever the professor, if it was an exam or whatever the case, I already had my notes. So you always want to kind of prepare yourself. If you have the because some professors, they actually don't lock certain things. They just keep it up, especially when it comes to the discussion. You can get those discussion for the whole semester out of the way in advance. And it actually helps you to do the portion that you need for like your homework assignments, when you can kind of research and do those discussions, because it's wrapped around your homework. And when you have those notes in advance, it does take a lot of time off of you.
They do, because if they leave it open, I'm telling, because I leave so when the class starts, when the class starts, all of the discussions are open. So if somebody's like me and like to go ahead, jump ahead of the class, she can roll. Like right now, I'm telling you, this is the first week. Midway through the first week, one person who was clocking it, man, my boy Joe, he had already answered week 2, and I was like, and I said, okay, got it. So now the first day of week 2, I'm already answering his question because he was ready. And so this and that, so do that, and then whatever you can do, like your paper, if you can do that in advance, go ahead. And just because it's just like, if for those of you who have ever rented, I mean, you can appreciate this. It's like being able to pay your rent up for a couple months. If you ever paid it even 1 month, boy, it's like breathing room. You need some breathing room. And guess what? When you would do that, it will also reduce your stress. And let me tell you something else. My final thing. While you're in class, in these classes, everything you do, say, and think about is don't watch no television, don't read no books, don't look at no things on social media unless it's related to, or you're looking up or relating to something related to stress, or psychology, I promise you, you will be the freaking expert on it. And if you don't do nothing else, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes of psychology. One of them with the psychology of oh, okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you the psychology of eating, the psychology of why we binge eat when we watch television.
Because of stress.
Yeah. Do you know that we eat? We eat I promise you, you eat when you're happy.
Hmm.
You eat when you're sad. So because when you are if you had great news, if you have great news, what do you want to do automatic? What pops in your head? What should I go do?
Celebrate.
Eat out, celebrate, eat out.
You see what I'm saying? Look, you got bad news. I'm just so stressed.
Hmm.
Okay, what do we want to do?
Eat,
Yeah.
go
Hmm.
eat.
You see what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
psychology. It's all psychology.
Hmm.
Everything is psychology. So can you imagine you bust that out on your students? What did you know? Let me tell you about the psychology. You can Google it, get the facts, drop your resource, and they be like, "Look at Hope bringing the heat." And don't think that teacher won't pick up on it. You could be doing that, and what is nothing you can do to ruin that. If you even put some paper and it was halfway, they'd be like, "Damn, she must have had a bad day." I'm serious. So just
Oh,
remember that.
yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
And so I want to, and so Sasha,
Yeah, before you jump on, I just want to share this too is everything they said is true, but you want to master the power of engagement. So even though I answer the question, I look for students will tell you how they're feeling about the question and how they feel in general, if they experience some anxiety around it. And you want to find, you always want to share your story, just like this episode. It's all about your story. And if you have the power of engagement and people start gravitating towards you because they know that you're going to be authentic and you're going to say, I struggled, but this is what I did, and here's a resource. You become like your professor. You become an expert on authenticity and engaging people and helping put people at ease.
That
Yeah.
transparency and
That
hope.
transparency is
Let me tell
powerful in the classroom.
yes,
You
and
ready?
hope you got it already. Because you know that chapter in the book, Her Story, Our Story. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
You know how to engage people. Stop playing. You know how to
Hmm.
engage and you
Hmm.
know how to write. You know
Hmm.
how to bring people into your world and you being able to allow to capture people's attention.
Hmm.
So, sometimes we got to get out our own way and not be in fear
that's correct.
and just do the daggone thing because you
Girl,
got
and wait a
yeah.
minute, and you know what Lisa Nichols said about fear? Fear is nothing but the stories that we've been telling ourselves about our future that we are not even sure is going to even occur. So what in the
Hmm.
world we doing worrying about something we don't know if it's going to be? You thought we didn't already decided. And guess what? But the thing about that is, whenever with the stories that we tell ourselves, because we just got to be right, we will do everything within our power to make that happen because we got to be right, whether it is intentional or unintentional. Psychology, that's the mind.
Hmm.
It's
The
called
Hmm.
mind, our
self-sabotage.
actions follow our mind. Our actions, look, it's not the other way around. It's the actions following the mind. All right, y'all. Wait a minute, now, Sasha. You got to tell us. For a minute, before I do that, Hope, your sprint is that your sprint for this week and for this whole time is that you are absolutely number one. I don't know when the class is over, it doesn't matter but your sprint is going to be that every single week you are going to be one of the, if not the first person every week to answer the original question and answer as many people as possible. You will get the A without even blinking. But your sprint is that, but you're also that 15 minutes. You are everything. Look, you're gonna be the queen of you can be dropping knowledge on us about stress and psychology from the east to the west, the north, and the south, because nobody's gonna know more about it than you. Because that's your sprint. All right. What you got there, Sasha? What you gonna do? What you going? Because I got questions.
Yeah, I need a couple of things. I need to take a moment to write that letter, but I need to do what I teach, right? So I'm a master collaborator equipping leaders worldwide, right? And I'm a certainty expert helping people navigate uncertain times. I just need to begin to apply those to me and stop making excuses when I know what to do. And so the first thing I need to do is to write that letter that says, hey, listen, I was on I had momentum, I was on track, I said, but I said, we have documented proof that we had a faculty member who derailed me because she asked me a question. She said, is cultural competency still an issue? And she tried to get me to my, change my focus, right? And so it got to the point where my chair had to go and fight for me, and they got the dean involved, and they moved her off my project. But by then I was exhausted, right? And then uncertain times hit, and it cost me a year. And so I need to tell that story to the institution, and I need to request that they compensate me for that so I can get back on track.
So
Because
guess what?
the things that I'm saying, that my concern now is cost, right? Cost, my energy, and my time. Which, haven't been, when you get sick, you lose. I lost time, money, and energy, right? And so I need to be compensated somehow.
And then guess what? That letter, and wait a minute, but when you write this letter, you writing it, and then you releasing that story back to him, because that is no
Mm,
longer going to be your story.
mm-hmm,
It is no longer going to be your why. I'm right here,
mm-hmm.
and I don't care what their response is.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't. I don't. They can take a 9 more. I don't care. You move forward, because what
Mm-hmm.
is there any reason why you? And I get the do re mi, and I'm with you on that one. But is there any reason why you can't go and deal with somebody else's school?
Actually, no, because I've started to, and this is my goal. I am interviewing schools to see who's gonna pay for it, because I believe there's scholarships and grants out there, institutions, they're giving top level leaders all of this money. Why not me?
My dear, somebody told me first and foremost they giving not only top level, they giving black women. They
Yeah,
want to give black women who want to college, and that's for you, Hope, as well. They want to give you money to get it, because because right now, I ain't gonna say we in style, but right now they're saying, look, hey,
right.
why aren't you giving the black women some money? Why aren't you
Yeah.
empowering them? And so there's monies out there, and that's so Sasha.
I need to take this again, going back to time. I need to take the time to finish that research.
What research?
The
The
who
pre
the institutions that are providing it. I started it, but so, of course, allowed myself to get distracted. But they're making the list of institutions and then interviewing them.
So I want you to do. I want you to not. This is what I want you not to do. I don't want you to get addicted to the process of doing it, because what will happen? We will process ourselves before we won't even take you. Okay, I got until I interview all the schools until Then you never. I got to do this. I'm gonna. No,
Girl,
no.
stop telling my
Wait a
business.
minute. Where's that? I want you to. What's the first step? We go. You are gonna write
I'm a
that letter.
process queen. I'm a data queen.
I know you. But this is the thing. We are, and Sasha is really, really, really knowledgeable and can teach anybody and will. But we all
Sometimes
are
I'm more
guilty of that.
than
We can know how to do something better than everybody in the world. We can teach everybody else how to do it, but we won't do it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
I was talking and saying what she would be like, girl, if you don't get up and right now and write that letter, I'm coming on right now, but that kind of thing. So I'm telling you, Sasha, your sprint for this week, when you come back here next week,
Mm-hmm.
bare minimum, that letter has been written and sent.
Okay.
Written and sent. And matter of fact, if you, I want you to double down with written, sent, and at least one. Come back here and tell us about one of the schools that you research and you think either you already did or you plan on interviewing them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because
I'm a sprint.
once you, because guess what, momentum. You guys know about momentum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things, a body in motion wants to continue to stay in motion. When we stop, we mess up the momentum. So I don't care what's look. I don't care who, everybody we know, every one of us could mention various people that are successful, and all of them have had many failures. And the difference, and they all say it different ways, but only difference between them and us on our journey is that they failed faster, they took more chances, and they just kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Reality is something we like, well, you know, Man, they risk takers. And so I'm going to tell you, while we're taking risk on everybody else, because you know we will, today, your risks, every one of them,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look, bank on you. Because I believe in you. Bank on you. And get out your own way. So every one of us, whatever the thing is, so your case, your 15 minutes, if you don't spend no more but 15 minutes every day, 15 minutes every day, yours is specifically, Sasha, about looking up the schools that you plan to interview. My spirit tells me it's not going to be long. And you're going to land on one. It might be, that's what it's, I bet you Hope going to come back here and have us in tears because she going to be like the teacher's pet love for nobody. They're going to love her.
Mm-hmm.
They can't help but love her anyway. Right?
Yeah.
And then, look, and I already know Miss Katrina, folks over there is going to come back with already talking about, oh, my Lord, I done wrote this grant. I was talking with Sasha on the phone. That's, I put
Not
the video,
small grants,
got
large
it. I
grants.
got them grants.
Large, multi-year
I
grants.
got the grant. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Watch. And so let me just leave you with this. There is, there's a speaker, and she's awesome. And oh my God, Quinn Conyers. Quinn is out of Maryland, and she's a speaker, and she was the one that taught me about my verbal business card, my vocal business card. Quinn Conyers said, well, you know what? They had this thing. Somebody sent me this thing, said, put in for like your like, you just get in there, put your, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? A pitch contest.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sent to her. She was like, I ain't putting it. Like she was like, man, maybe I'm good, but she was trying to talk herself out of it, and she put herself in for this pitch contest. And she was like, I'm not gonna win this because these like big people like Miss Tiffany Haddish and all of them in there. And she's like, I ain't gonna get in there, baby. Not only did I want to say, was it Reebok? Not Reebok. Oh God. One of them big companies, go to Apple or somebody, one of them big companies, like big companies, picked her up. She won the contract, and now she's spokesperson. She getting everything. I mean, and it opened the door. Now, first it cracked the door, but she couldn't believe she got it. But she's on there with LeBron and all of them. They picked her. She's like a spokesperson from her pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So had she said, I ain't putting my little, and she had sent a video in. She said, look, her exact words, my little video ain't gonna get picked up. So I'm telling you, don't you decide who would somebody else gonna think about you. And what's the worst thing what's the worst thing that can happen? If you do nothing, you just get nothing.
Right.
But if you do something, you just might get everything. Because now the door is wide open. That thing is now on more stages and more places. And wait a minute, she in from that pitch. And because she landed that stage, now she is working with Damon Fubu, the Fubu guy. What? You know the Fubu, for us, by us, the jeans?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm saying, do not decide that you're not going to do something. So you all, now what y'all think? So this is our first session.
So I'm definitely going to be focusing on my grant writing. I'm going to do my sample. You said sample. But let y'all see this. So 15 minutes each day of staying focused with just getting my sample, my wrap around my team around me, and researching grants and applying what I learned to writing grants. And then my goal is to write 5 grants, apply for 5 grants each month. So I took some notes. My grand love is snatching my stuff. So, but
that's all right. That's all right. Because she's hearing everything. So
I'm loving that. That's what I'm saying. So how you feeling? How you feeling? How are you feeling about all of that?
I feel actually excited because it's a challenge, and I'm at a place now that I'm ready to go and handle and face this challenge head on, because I was afraid when I started the nonprofit, and a year later, look where we at. Yes. And so I'm ready to take it up a notch and face that challenge head on. So I'm ready. I'm excited.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Hope, what you got? How you
So
feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I got some really good information and I'm going to apply it. So when I get off tonight, I'm gonna go and look at. I already did questions for this week, so I'm gonna look at for next week. Go ahead and try to knock those out tonight, and then just keep pushing and working on my midterm and my paper.
Perfect. So each week we fully expect to hear something about how we can deal with our stress and our minds each time we hear from you. Because I know you have so much information. Thank you, Hope. Sasha, how you feeling?
I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling equipped. I'm feeling that leader worldwide who's just been equipped. And so my goal is to write that letter, send it out, and come back with at least, not only, but at least one school. Because and also notice that it won't be long when not only will I be back in, but within a year I will be done.
Oh, she's just gonna come up here and snatch the whole. This is and guess what? And I know that to be true.
Well,
And
that's because I have the team here again that's going to hold me accountable.
that's
So
it. You
putting
know,
myself on
you
the
know.
spot.
Morning text, Sasha.
Oh my God! I think only people. Wait a minute. We just missed
Accountability.
Pam, Sharon, and Sabrina. So where y'all? Where y'all
OMG.
at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
I, look, I'm fit about to send a text now.
Look, wait a minute. And look, no, and yeah, y'all heard it right. I said, oh, like it was all one word. Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, it makes a difference. Let me tell you, there's power in numbers.
Yes. And this is it's what we're doing. This is a destiny circle. We're working right. This, but we are sprinting and see how a destiny circle. And you'll learn more about it. But just in circles, it's 1 week, and here you can do destiny missions. It's a whole lot of destiny. But right now, do destiny sprints, and it can be just a destiny partnership. 2 people.
Mm.
We're a circle because we're a group. All right, y'all.
Hmm.
So let me just. This is where we're going. This has been great. I'm going to tell you, I just by the virtue of me being here, and this is another thing, you all remember this. You teach. Look, teaching is repeating until learning happens.
Mm. Good.
Teaching is repeating until learning happens. So never think that you're not teaching somebody if you to repeat something. Repeat it, because sometimes if you have been around anybody you have heard, and I got that from Trevor Ashaw. Like, y'all gonna hear a lot about Trevor. That Trevor, man, he'll come back and ask you a question. You be like, dang, man, right? It's so many things when you hear a quote and it resonates with you. Hold on to it, understand it, learn more about it, and use it. All right, y'all. Well, this is her story, our story. We're gonna see y'all next week. Because I know y'all can't wait to see where we are next week and how things are going. I can't either because it's gonna be crazy. Y'all better look, those didn't join us. We sorry. Look, we sorry. No. But y'all got any final words for the people that ain't been here before we jump off?
Yes. Actually, keep your eyes on God first, your family, yourself, and the world last.
Powerful. I actually wrote it down as you were talking, so I got to read it. I said, when I tell my story, it initially brings tears to my eyes because of the heaviness of the journey. But as I sit here today, before a tear can drop from my eyes, I well up with joy, knowing that I truly have overcome. My name is Sasha E. Butler. I'm a master collaborator, equipping leaders worldwide. I'm starting with me.
Hold
Don't
on,
make me
Hope.
cry,
I
y'all.
say, hold on, Hope. Hold on, Hope. Hold on, because she over there like, Lord, Sasha, trying to take
Don't
me
make
down.
me cry, y'all, because
I
every
know.
time I get around you, you know, tell you,
Ooh.
you're like my power cells.
Mm. So
Yes,
wait a
Trina,
minute.
Hope, all of you.
And let me
Yes.
tell you before Hope, before you say something real quick, because I know you're gonna take us out. I want you all to. I told you to write down what the lie was that you told yourselves. I told you to leave space. Then the other thing you have to do is before you come back is I want you to write down what the truth is for each one of those lies. And every day for the next 5 days, I want you to read the lie, the lie, the truth every day, at least one time. What you wrote down. And then on the 5th day, I want you to erase the lie. Because see, the mind only knows what you tell it. If you give it that one track, the lie, the lie, the lie, the lie, the lie, the lie, it's the only way it can go. But if you tell them, give them two tracks, and when it goes here, be like, well, wait a minute, well, wait a minute, there's a truth. There's I don't know where to go. But when you remove the lie, then only things left is the truth.
It's good.
Hope, take it to the psychology class, girl. I'm just dropping nuggets here. Just it's all psychology. All right, you all, you've been great. I can't wait to see you. Same time, same place. Come back here. We're doing our second circle with which is 4 sprints back here next Wednesday. Y'all join us. Take care, ladies.